Pretty big week for us. We're going to be starting our big project. We have to get some equipment rented to clear out a pad so that we can build our woodshed, solar kiln, and sawmill platform. It's all going to be in one building, and we're going to get our solar panels mounted on top, and we're hopefully going to have that ready by the end of the summer. Before we can get the equipment in here and clean out this pad, we do have to clean up the area though. We have our lathe, the washer, a pile of wood, stuff back there from the original owner. We've got to move our water tank and some pallets, the groomer. We have to cut out these trees, that tree, take out some logs that are laying down in there. We have a couple trees here to take out. And then we've got to try and avoid our blueberries. I think we're just going to dig those up with a tracked rig when we get it in here. We'll just scoop it up and move it somewhere, along with this cluster here. Hopefully we can get that all done within a week. We're going to have the equipment for 1 week. If we do get to that point and we still have time left on the clock, we will be moving the dirt for our turnaround area over here. We'll be taking that dirt, pushing it back even further so we have a bigger turnaround area here. And if we still have time from there, we have to widen the end of the driveway and then also move the solar panels and these wood stoves and dig out some of this and lower this a little bit down to the gravel so that we don't get a pool under the house anymore. So that'll all get cleared down to the gravel also. Kind of silly that we're moving all this wood out of this spot. That's how we can build a woodshed to move it all back.
Well, it's not really silly, it's just the name of the game.
I know.
Move everything more than once. But on the bright side, we're moving it this one time, and then when we move it back again, it's never gonna have to move again until it comes into the house to get burned.
Yeah.
So, this is only one of 2 more times that we have to move it. This one's new, I feel like.
What?
This rip.
Oh no, it's been there. I think that happened when we went down to Sheep Creek this spring.
Oh really?
Yeah. What kind of weed do you got there?
A raspberry weed. No. But look, it's gonna have flowers if it survives with this little clump of dirt. I figured might as well try to save them. If they die, they're just gonna die anyway.
You want to dig up those roses over there too, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Even though we have these wild roses all over the property, you want to save these ones, huh?
Well, my plan is I want to gather a whole bunch of them that we can find and then like move them to a very specific location. So I don't know if like part of me's like, oh, maybe we'll like put a huge section on either side of our driveway for the entrance, or maybe like, I don't know, something. I don't know yet. What kind of vision? We've got all these currants right here too.
Weeds.
I don't think I plan on saving the currants.
There's
It
currants
is interesting
all over.
that there's so many berries on them already.
There's currants all over this property.
Yeah, they're everywhere. I don't plan on saving those, but all the roses, and those are the only raspberries that I've actually noticed on our property, so I definitely want to get them.
No, there's some on the right side of the trail up there.
Oh. I found that this tool that kind of has like a blade on it that I can saw works really well for cutting down into these just all these roots that are the top layer of this ground. But this is a pretty good sized clump right here, so I'm going to try really hard to get it all in one. I barely got anything of the roots, so like I said, we'll just have to see if any of these even survive. Hopefully they do. If they don't, they were just going to get bulldozed over anyway, so. There. There's a much better clump with this one. So then after I dig it up, I just try to pull out all the extra things, any of these dead canes, any of the other stuff that isn't a raspberry. Here are all of the raspberries I grabbed. It's just a couple right there. These are younger ones, so they're not going to fruit this year anyway, but I figured I'd grab them. And then I have a bucket of these rose canes. So they don't really have a lot of roots to them, as you can see. This one's literally just that. But I'm pretty sure that that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick these in a bucket of water, let them sit like that overnight, and then probably tomorrow or throughout the week kind of figure out where I'm going to put those. The reason we aren't really putting stuff in the ground anyway to begin with our greenhouse, with having a lot of things in these grow bags, is just because we want to prep the garden area. So none of like the land here is really prepped to be planting things permanently. So kind of have to figure it out, which again, if they just don't make it, I might just end up potting them up in some of these, like I might empty out some of these rocks and plant them in those, and then just let them winter over in the greenhouse. And then if they make it, great. If they don't, it was worth a try.
Lori finished getting her plants. I do really like that she gets all the plants for us and has to deal with all that stuff, because I am very much not a gardener. She deals with most of the greenhouse and planting everything, and she likes to pick up and save all the things around here. I just would have pushed right on through and not even worried about it, but it is nice that she takes care of that. So I've got the cluster of birch behind me to take care of, and then there's a spruce right behind that to take, and then there's a spruce right here that I need to take. They're all alive, so I won't be able to use them for anything for a while. So I'm going to drop them, cut them to 10-foot sections, and then the birch are probably going to be too heavy for me to move. So I'll wait until I have the equipment and move them with that most likely. The only thing I've got to watch out for is a small blueberry patch right behind me. And otherwise I'm going to just drop them all into this opening here. So I'm getting a little bit of smoke when I'm running this, and I believe it's because I bent my bar here. I was taking down I'm definitely getting hot and smoking here because I'm discoloring here now. But I was taking down a different tree over that way, and it pinched on my blade and bent it at the tip. I bent it back the best I could, thought I had it good, but it looks like I am still rubbing here. This chain is pretty well worn, so it's going to need replaced soon anyway. So I think I'm just going to keep running it on this blade and replace the bar and the chain at the same time. finished my first blade. So I'll be moving this and I'll cut this main beam off of this one, see if that releases this one enough. I don't think any of these are really going to be good enough for milling. The end of this one on the bottom is pretty rotten. It's pretty typical of birch on the middle, even on live trees. They're just pretty soft and junk for the first, like, I don't know, 5-6 feet maybe. So you got to get to above that point, and then hopefully you have a straight section before there's branches, because as soon as you got branches, then it starts crooking and turning. So it's kind of hard to get lumber out of this stuff. It's not like the spruce where every single one grows perfectly straight and just cut off all the little branches and you got a perfectly straight beam. So this one, maybe once I cut this section off, I have a straight section here that might work. Otherwise that one's no good. This one, I might take a 10-foot section off the bottom. It does have a bit of a wave, but we'll see. And then that one, there's nothing there for that either. So one 10-foot section, two 10-foot sections, and then the rest, firewood. So I'll show you what I mean about this rot in the birch trees. Even though this is a perfectly live tree, I didn't see any issues with this tree at all. But down in the base, every single one, almost always, is just rot. Just junk. So it doesn't make it any good for milling. This one's more specifically because there was a tree here and then a tree here. But even over here, this is all just junk in here. And then coming over to this, the one tree was here, but this one still has its own junk. So basically you got to get above that before it's even worth trying to mill. Even with this end piece, like this is mostly just wet. It's a little soft, it's not too bad. A little bit of spalting here. So I should be good after cutting off maybe one, maybe 2 rounds, but I'll probably go up there and cut at the joint where it gets crooked, see how good that is, and then probably measure 10 feet from that side this way so I cut off the worst stuff over here. I finished cutting up the birch trees I dropped. I ended up with 4 logs that I'll be keeping for milling. I've got a 10-foot one that's pretty good size, and then 2 medium-sized ones that are probably about 9 foot, and then I got one pretty good sized one that's about 6 foot. The rest of it all got cut up into firewood. I've got a few piles of branches that I think we're just going to leave. I don't think we're going to burn those. I'm just going to come, and when I scrape off the top before I start digging, I'll just push it all into a pile and we'll deal with it another time. Let them break down for a little while so they dry out, and then they'll be easier for us to burn. And with it being so hot right now, I don't want to be burning leaves and have them going somewhere and starting a fire or whatever else. So we're going to load up all the chunks of birch that I have cut up now and pull them out of here, and then I'll tackle the last couple spruce trees. we're dumping them by those ones back there.
Okay. I can't remember. This is a beastly one. Like, it's little. I mean, yes, compared to what you just put up there. But it's got a lot of arms throughout it.
Oh.
And I will forever now refer to them as arms.
Arms.
For the record.
Are the roots the legs then? Gotta pull up some legs today.
No. That one doesn't have like his nice of a ring to it.
Oh.
Arms just make sense.
Rowan's hanging out outside, so no chainsaw for me. It's too loud. So I'm gonna get rid of this with the axe, I suppose.
You're gonna have to cut that more than that.
Well, it's leaning towards the house. I don't really want it to go on the house.
I'd prefer it not to either. You need help
Yeah.
pushing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause I can hear it creaking, which means it's coming this way.
Okay.
And that's landing right on our house, so. Yeah. Just push here and hold it as tight as you can.
What?
Push as good as you can.
What are you doing? Oh yeah, that's moving for sure. At least a little bit.
It's definitely still stuck there, though.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's a creek.
One more, right? Alright.
I can see the
Leaning this way now, so.
I can see the line, and it's going like straight down. Though is the problem. Where it's
If you let it go, is it coming back this way still? Yeah, okay. Why don't you give it some wax?
me.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to hit you. Here, I'll hold.
Alright.
Go. There we go. There we go.
Slowest fall.
Yeah. Yeah, it was right here down that seam. I could see it was cracking. At least it was a little tree.
It's fine. Here, take out some branches while you're over there. feel like every one of these trees have been fighting me. I had to winch that one over to keep it from going the right way. Lori had to help me push that one. This one's going the wrong way. It's gonna possibly land on the sawmill, so I gotta hit this wedge in and hopefully get it going this way. I'm having a problem with this one because I barely started doing my back cut and it started leaning, so I can't really push my wedge in any farther. I probably should have my cut wedge a lot smaller, but I was thinking making it far enough it was pretty close where I'd be able to get it to go that way, but it doesn't seem so. I guess I'm chaining this one too. So we had a change of plans. We decided instead of giving money out to somebody we don't know to rent out equipment for clearing out this land, we'll just pay one of our neighbors who has a big dozer to come and push this all for us. Being we're doing that, we're not gonna have a bucket to scoop up these blueberry plants, so I kind of pushed around here as deep as I could to get into the roots, and then I wrapped the chain deep in there the best I could, chained it to the back of the side-by-side, and now I'm going to pull it with the side-by-side and hopefully cut through the bottom so we can bring a big patch all at once, because otherwise this is really tough to get through and I don't want to end up ripping all these apart and breaking these blueberries. So we're going to try it here and then we'll see about moving to the next patch how it goes.
Okay, I think we should try to flip it under again.
Okay, forward. Okay. All right, give it a little bit. Okay.
Man. Okay, that's that. Yeah, it's loose.
Yep.
Okay, ready? 1, 2.
all the main work is done. We have a large clearing now. We added in a turnaround area so that we can get a trailer in here and turn around with the truck. And then we cleared out the area for the building project we're going to be doing. We have some mounds of dirt that are just going to stay there for now. He left his dozer here, and he'll come back when things dry out a little more and kind of cut off the tops of those and push them back into the woods, smooth it out so it doesn't look just like big piles everywhere. But in the meantime, I'm going to take the side-by-side and kind of smooth out some of this stuff. Of course, that's not how I'm actually going to smooth this out. I'm going to hook up this pallet and start dragging it around a bit. So the dozer made quick work of clearing out this area, but it does kind of leave a mess around the edges. It can't do the real fine work. So we're going to be coming through and shoveling up some of the mounded dirt, especially like around the house, and kind of sloping it so we can get the side-by-side up and stuff. And that's going to finish it up for this week's video. Just going to keep on shoveling.